Right, let's take you to the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, where Professor Geri Augusto will share information with the foundation about the Amilcar Cabral archives. She's currently a senior fellow in international and public affairs and director of undergraduate development studies, Track Watson Institute for International and Public Affairs at Brown University, among other things. Let's go live there.
Friends and colleagues as the right place. And so that's what I have. The second one I'll be quicker about is an audio recording that I just discovered is on my laptop. So I said, you know what? It's an MP3 file. This is new technology. But when I was doing the chapter on the anti-apartheid movement in Brazil, I had the honor of interviewing a woman named Luisa Bairros, since deceased. She was a member of President Lula's party, the Partido do Trabalho, the Workers' Party. She was an activist in the Movimento Negro Unificado, the Unified Black Movement of Brazil, which is their historic black movement from the 70s till today. When President Lula was convinced by the black movement of Brazil that they needed in his government special attention to the problem of racism in Brazil. It couldn't be a side issue attached to this or that. They started a national secretariat, which also has state or had state branches. And she was the first secretary / minister of this state office for racism and for also for gender violence against gender-based violence, but primarily racism. And she was the first secretary. But she was also one of the leaders of Brazil's delegation to the Durban Conference. So in her interview, she's explaining the importance of the Durban Conference for the black movement in Brazil and the ways that it, inspired them, animated them, and whatever. So part of that story filters into the chapter that is part of the Road to Democracy. And I was asking my editor, Dr. Sifiso Blom, can I put this? Yes, put it all, whatever you think should be there. But the actual raw interview itself that I did with her, it's in Portuguese. I've been encouraging people here to understand that when you speak about the diaspora, don't point to the United States or Jamaica or Trinidad alone. The largest part of the African diaspora is in Brazil. 52% of the Brazilian population self-identifies, not somebody saying it, as African descended. And so in the kind of work of rethinking Pan-Africanism and thinking about the African diaspora, for me, Brazil has become very important. So I encourage young people on both sides. In the Brazilian side, I say, you've got to learn English. You got to be able to talk to other people. On this side, I must say, you have to be able to speak and read and write Portuguese for the diasporic connection that you want. So not only is it able to talk more easily to Angola and Mozambique, your neighbors in SADC, but that vast Afro-Brazilian population becomes a part of what you can draw closer to. So the interview, it starts in English just because I'm explaining. The rest of it is in Portuguese, and I'm leaving it here for the Thabo Mbeki Library as well. That's it.
Thank you. Now the Prof.
Oh, should I do something ceremonial? Okay. All right, let me see. So the Group of Terrorist Attack, which is not our label, that's the name of the film. This is a copy. It's from Grenada TV, 1968. Okay. I think Grenada TV was an independent kind of news film company in the UK. Okay. So there's that. These are images from the interview at Bath. That's where it was in the UK, 2005, with Basil Davidson, because we took lots and lots of pictures. But the jewel of the small number, and these are negatives that I found in the box. I figure I turn it over. Some are photos of, this is Basil Davidson with Flora Gomez in his home, and he died shortly thereafter. This is one of these occasions where you got to get to the elder or to the person. Yeah. We got to him just in the last minute. So this is in his home. These are members of the group: Peter Mendes, Flora Gomez, etc. So I'm giving these, you can make of them what you will. But the most important part to me is, and there are not many, but when I looked at them again today, I thought, okay, I should stop saying it's small. Things can be small but significant. This is Guinea-Bissau, 1973, President Aristides Pereira of the PAIGC, and now President of Cape Verde at the time. declaring the independence of Guinea-Bissau in September 1973, a year before the war ended. So there he is. This is political meeting of the PAIGC in Guinea-Bissau in the liberated zone of Como, southern Guinea-Bissau, October 1972. So I think what's important about this, I'll try not to prolong it, but to know the kind of democratizing discussions, teaching, and learning that took place in the bush, in the liberated zones, I think is very important. So these are just, you would say rank and file comrades, but they are having a political meeting, which is where a lot of these political meetings had to take place in the war zone. This one, which I had forgotten was there, is the Congress of the MPLA in July, I don't know when. Mozambique, it's Frelimo, Mozambique 1968. So there's some conference, internal conference of Frelimo. President Eduardo Mondlane, this is before Samuel Machel, yes, opens the historic Second Congress of Frelimo, which prepared the way for the military and political victories which crowned the end of the Liberation War, blah, blah, blah. The part on the back is the photographer himself who explains what it is. So there's that one. Political worker of PAIGC in the region of Kobu Kare, Guinea-Bissau, October 1972, 2 years before independence. So this one I think is also important about the, how shall we call it, how being in the liberation movement presented ordinary people with an opportunity to grow, to speak out, to participate in politics. They felt free to say what their opinion was. It's not in some Congress hall and he's in his short pants. It's in the middle of the bush. But he is exercising his right as a comrade in the movement and a citizen of what was going to be an independent country to talk. Let me see. This one, liberated territory. I think this whole concept of liberated territory, liberated zones is something that can give rise to a lot of research. Southern Portuguese Guinea at the time, 1968. The clearing in the jungle from which the Grenada, they always refer to the jungle, I'm telling you no jungles, but anyway, from which the Grenada television team, so that's the film there. This is where they started out and were taken to the South Front. And this is
from the bush.
And again, this is Eduardo Mondlane, 1969, photographed at the Second Congress.
Yes, indeed, that's Mondlane.
And so maybe it's a misnomer to say the Amilcar Cabral collection, but this is a picture of Amilcar Cabral. You may have seen this picture, but this is the original taken by the photographer who took it. So this was in Dakar, Senegal, February 4th, 1968. He is Secretary General of the PAIGC at this time. And what else? This is more war picture. Liberated territory, southern port. There's a whole different geography of Africa when you consider it from the standpoint of liberation movements. It's not about colonial borders. It's something else. This one again is 1968. Paulo Correa, political commissar of the South Front. And both Ms. Moleketi and Dr. Suruti can tell you what it meant to be a political commissar in these times. Not an easy job.
The president can say
as the president, not an easy job. And this is Basil Davidson in younger times with the film team. So these are the this is what I'm turning over. So it's not like a Amilcar Cabral collection, which I hope that the library eventually acquires. But these you won't necessarily find.
All right, and we come out of that.